What's going on, good people? Welcome to the Faction Reloaded. I am your host. I'm Gerard Bonner. I am so excited to be here. Gosh, it's been a long time coming for us to be back doing what we're doing here for the Faction Reloaded. If you guys have been a follower of the Faction at all, you kind of know what the story is here. But if you're new, if you're just joining us, about 10 years ago, I said, hey, you know what? It's time for us to have some wrestling conversation in both a radio and podcast space. And so I brought together two of my good brothers, and we decided to have some really dope conversation. And in that time, we interviewed a lot of amazing people, and they went on to do some other things. I kept the show going for a while, and about 2 years ago, it just got too busy. But the good thing is, hey, it's still busy, but I got some more friends. And so the Faction has been officially reloaded. And what a day to launch. I mean, there's so much to talk about, and we're going to get into all of it. But I want to introduce to you some of my really, really good friends who are joining us for this conversation. Let me go up north. Let me go up to New York for the one that we call the sweetest ooze. Wrestling with Honey is here. Honey, how are you?
Just when you thought things couldn't get any sweeter, Professor, here we are. Buzz, buzz, beautiful, busy bees of the wrestling universe. The sweetest ooze, Wrestling with Honey, is here. So excited to be here. Professor, amazing to see you.
It is good to see you as well, and I'm glad we're getting to do this again. And this is special. So now I have to go to Houston, Texas, for a brother I've been knowing for a long time. We had the chance to work together in some other spaces. We've always wanted to do some wrestling stuff together, and so I'm honored to have my good brother James White with me. What's going on, brother?
What's up? I am more tired than Kane's toothbrush, but I am here.
Wow.
Glad to be with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be that kind of party, guys. I'm already bracing myself. Then to the West Coast we go for a gentleman who, quite frankly, has earned his stripes as indeed the councilman. The councilman, Will Pharaoh, is here. What's up, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. Your councilman is here. I have been all up and down the road dealing with my clients, making call-ups, championships. But when the professor calls and tells me that I need to be part of the Faction Reloaded, the councilman answers the call. And I'm so glad to be here today.
I'm honored to have you with us. And last but certainly not least, one of the most respected content creators and personalities in this entire sport. I'm honored that she said yes to come hang out with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's lovely Laveau.
Hello, hello, hello. You know it's the OG Wrestle Auntie. Your girl, lovely Laveau. We're going to get this thing spicy today.
Oh, and spicy indeed it shall be. I'm excited for the folks who are going to join us in the comments and all the things. It's just about to be really, really special. All right, so let's dig into it because we had a plan coming into today. We had a whole plan in terms of what we were going to talk about. And then it got thwarted by the news of yet more releases in WWE. So literally 7 days ago, there were the infamous post-WrestleMania cuts. Roughly 20 to 25 superstars no longer with the company. But we find out today that 4 superstars, in addition, have parted ways with WWE. Those 4 names include Tonga Loa and JC Mateo, formerly known as Jeff Cobb of MFT. And then there's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston of the New Day, who have all parted ways with WWE. Right off the bat, I want to get your reactions to this news, which certainly not saying any one person is more important than the other, but I think we were all shocked that there were more releases today after last week. Your thoughts on hearing this? I want to rip the Band-Aid off, but I'm going to leave into it. Let me start with Honey. What do you make of this? Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo now gone from WWE.
Mr. Bonner, I don't feel so well. I don't feel so well at all. My heart hurts very much for this this departure, considering the history behind, the New Day, how much they were such a big impact in the last decade. Kofi Kingston, 18 championships in 24 years of his tenure. I don't understand it. Not sure what happened. I'm sure we'll get into all of that, but it was quite the shock, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
James, your thoughts on this news?
When I got the notification that Tonga Loa was no longer be with us, I was just saddened in my soul because no one has provided me more comic relief by not trying to be funny than Tonga Loa. This man botched his debut. I mean, how do you botch coming up underneath the ring? You just show up underneath the ring, bro. And his level of botches have provided great joy to my soul, and I pray someone picks him up immediately just for the botches.
Wow. Wow. Would you dare call it debauchery? No.
Wow.
That was too easy. That was too easy.
Word of the day. Word of the day.
Botch Mantel. How about that?
Right there.
So okay, Councilman, let me just ask you, which of these, if any, was the most surprising to you? Because they all seem to come out of nowhere.
Absolutely none of them. They all make sense. And for me, it's a new day. I don't see why people are upset about this. As he said, Tonga, the botch king. How long is that going to go in the upper echelon of WWE? I mean, the man literally fell off of the announce table on his last match and totally messed up his spot. So I don't know what to tell you with that one. It just makes sense. JC Mateo is a great value Bronson Reed, and they still trying to figure out what to do with him. That man was here almost a year. He was 8 days away from being here a year. The man only had 4 singles matches in his entire run. I don't even know how many promos this dude put on. Probably none. So it just, again, it makes sense that it's like, hey, if we're cutting things, we're going to part ways with you. And for New Day, so glad, because you are not appreciated at WWE. WWE does not care about tag teams outside of the women's division. Kofi Kingston is literally going around missing out on his family to sit in catering. Y'all deserve so much more. In the 4 years y'all have been there, they botched your heel run. They botched your segment with Big E. They held you back from even running the tag team division by having you have it for 3 weeks and then strip it off of you from the War Raiders at WrestleMania Vegas last year. These people lost interest in you, and y'all deserve way more. In the 4 years, we could have had another Coffee Mania. We could have had them with multiple IC US title runs or just running roughshod over the tag team division. The fact that you put them as heels against a babyface Usos on a random Monday Night Raw showed me everything you need to show me about where you put the New Day. And the fact of all the money they missing, from up, down, to the cons to everything else, man, just like I said with Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, go out there and do just like Cody did. Go from undesirable back to being undeniable. And then when WWE call again, which they will, you tell them, add about 4 more zeros to that check, and then it'll be another New Day again.
So speaking of the check, the news that is coming out now is that apparently this decision to part ways specifically for Kofi and Xavier came down to the request to have them restructure their current contract. And as a result of that, that is why they have decided to part ways. Lovely, what are your thoughts upon hearing that piece of news? As we were trying to make sense of how this happened, when you heard that, what did that say to you about just kind of how all of this went down?
It's disgusting, actually. That's the part of it that is hard to process. of how it went down. We all know that New Day's on the tail end of their WWE run. You could just feel it in the atmosphere. You know how this works. But it was the fact that you had the temerity to ask them brothers to restructure their contract after the ink had already dried. And you had the nerve on top of the temerity to ask the New Day of all people to take that kind of pay cut after all of the pancakes that they tossed out of the bootios that were eaten, out of all the t-shirts that I personally own. I think I have every single one of them that they had. The only solace that I got from this was those brothers understood their worth and they said, no. That's the only solace I got from this. And I'm keeping it cool because I got all the anger out earlier. So I can think level-headedly now. So that gives me some sort of, okay, if this was a situation where you knew your worth and you realized that you were not appreciated, and we all know that there's money in their names, no matter where they go, what they do, I can be okay with that. It's still nasty. TKO, you got to see me. I call y'all takeout menu now. That's your name. And while James was talking about Tongaloa, let me tell you something, brother. I was hurt. I was in here distraught because for 10 years, I've been wanting to see the Usos versus God. That's all I've wanted. I said, once I get that match, I can bow out of wrestling fandom for good. I'm good. You had them on the same show and you never gave me that match?
Not once.
Tuck your chain.
Tuck your chain. I'm hurt too. Listen, I want to see Tongaloa on television for whatever may happen. Okay? You never know what's going to happen when this man, but it's going to be entertaining. And I'm oh my God.
We call it even in
the script. Unscripted good times. So just keep the camera on him. They should have like a picture in picture with the camera just on Tongaloa to see whatever he's going to do, because he is the ultimate entertainer to me.
Imagine if we would have gotten him and Danhausen, some Tongaloa and Danhausen action.
Imagine if Danhausen cursed Tongaloa and actually unbotched him.
Oh, I was gonna say he's already operating under a Danhausen curse because of the bout. Maybe it's the uncurse that could happen. Shout out, my blood brother is actually watching. Shout out to Brendan, who is hardly ever on social, so I appreciate that. My guy Michael Dixon is here, and yeah, we are talking about the New Day as we speak. So speaking of the New Day, I have to ask this question. I'm going to pose this to you, honey. Now that we are kind of trying to deal with a WWE world without the New Day, now there's all of this potential conversation about where they could land. My question is, in the spirit of lovely and dream matches and fandom, are there any matches right now that you would want to see the New Day engage in?
That's interesting, because they're considering that there's so much wrestling everywhere, and then now there's there's a lot more promotions beyond WWE. WWE's no longer that only one under the sun. I mean, I would love to see. I mean, I kind of don't care where they go, as long as they go somewhere that respects them and treats them better than how they departed from this place that was supposed to treat them better. I just think that if there's any tag teams, I'm just gonna blurt it out. Just go the other way. Go to AEW. Just go to AEW. Just do it. Go over there, run amok, show them what tag team action is supposed to look like.
Okay. So let me come back to you, Lovely, because I know the dream match for you was God and New Day. Any potential dream matches at this point for New Day with anybody right now?
Yes.
Let's go.
I have a dream promotion, actually. I personally would love to see New Day at Ashe Wrestling.
Darius, somebody get Darius on the line right now, because that needs to happen.
I would love to see New Day in Ashe Wrestling. I would love to see Kofi Kingston versus Jordan Holt. I would love to see New Day versus Ugly Gang. That would be hilarious. The pancakes and the cream pies. Don't tell me.
Hey, yo.
Well, all right.
Hey,
now.
well, you have to know where I'm.
I know.
Okay.
I know
Gotta have to
I know exactly where. I know exactly
know.
where. Well, it just came out. I was like, "Whoop."
I'm selfish with that, so I'm going to be a little bit biased with wanting to see. That would be fantastic to get them somewhere like Ashe.
Mhm.
Now, if we're talking about television wrestling, of course, I threw out a curveball. Let New Day join Hurt Syndicate.
Mm.
That's kind of like where my direction was heading as well. Like just
I like chaos. Y'all like all this nice stuff. Everything be diplomatic. No, tear it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run amok.
That could work. That could work. Any dream matches for you, James?
I grew up in the day of territorial wrestling, right?
Yes.
So you had Georgia Championship Wrestling, Florida Championship Wrestling. Every state had their own. Then you had Mid-South, you had AWA. And so you're likely to see Dusty Rhodes on 3 different promotions on a Saturday. You know what I mean?
True.
And so I would love for that aspect to come back where everyone wasn't exclusively tied to one particular one, and they just worked as many as possible. One day you could see them on TNA. Another time you can see them wrestling the Young Bucks on AEW. You can see them on Ashe. You can see them in New Japan. They just work. I think at this point of their careers and what they've given to the business, they should have a free card. Lucha Underground's coming back. Pop them boys on Lucha. You know what I'm saying? Have some black Negro Luchasaurus type. I don't know. Lucha Negros. I don't know what to call that.
That's hilarious.
Hey, the
And
Lucha
I want it on a
Negros.
shirt. That's fantastic, actually.
Lucha Negros. Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my gosh.
They come out in a box of Nappios. I mean,
all right.
we can
Enough
work
with
this
this,
out.
Oh
Mike.
my God.
Can we kick him out?
Wow.
Nappios.
Is it what I want to bowl though, just to see what that tastes like?
Nappios.
Nappios is crazy.
Does the milk turn black?
All right.
So there's a great comment here from Michael Dixon. He says AEW is where all the dream matches are for them, but in AEW things tend to fizzle quickly. I know things may have changed. You may be watching a little more AEW at this point, Councilman, but do you think there could be a future for them in AEW?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I can even see it just being able to have that run in the tag team division with dream matches like New Day versus the Young Bucks, like bringing in New Day versus FTR, Private Party would be insane.
That would be crazy.
Just promo wise would be insane, and nothing being held back. Absolutely. And then too, like people tend to forget them separate is something nasty to deal with. Imagine Kofi Kingston goes in singles action. Xavier Woods does the same thing and is in a match with Tenosuke Takeshita.
Oh, that's
nasty.
Yeah,
nasty.
Or Kofi Kingston versus John Moxley,
like or Kevin Knight,
Kevin Knight.
Kofi
and Kevin Knight, or Xavier Woods and Will Ospreay.
Come on with it.
You got it. Now we going because remember AEW has AR Fox.
Yes.
Correct. Kingston versus AR Fox.
Or Swerve.
Kofi Kingston versus AR Fox. I'm ignoring that.
I hope somebody's listening.
Hey, Kofi Kingston versus Kyle Fletcher.
Right.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Yeah. Cooking. But it's a lot of potential there. I mean, for me, I would love to see them go do a New Japan run and take on the United Empire like Temple Arrow and TJP. Especially with everything they do from the anime standpoint. And like I feel like Japan would welcome them with open arms. And you really see a lot more of the New Day go international like they should be and just become a even more worldwide success.
I'm all for that. And even with, like going back to what James said, like just pull the Hardy Boys and just go to every promotion,
go everywhere,
run them up, get all the belts, collect them, and let people know.
Collecting New Day?
Yes.
Belt collecting New Day.
Oh, yo, New Day at fourth row?
I just thought about that. I literally just thought about that. Like that could be. Imagine this: New Day Hardys for the 4th Rope Championship.
Oh my
That's
Lord.
crazy.
That's
Book
crazy.
it.
Now,
yeah.
do they have rights to the name?
Now that's a question.
Yeah,
That's a question. I don't know.
I don't think Xavier Woods has the rights to his name, so he might go back to Austin Creed.
Austin Creed, yeah. That's fine.
Kofi, I'm not sure about, because there was this thing about where they were allowing them to have their trademarks when they leave. So I don't know if Kofi has it, but I don't think they have the New Day. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think they had that trademark.
No,
I don't think WWE was dumb enough to do that slip.
That name has too much money, carries too much weight to let that go.
The good thing for them, though, is they are creative enough to where they can figure out something new, which I think would be a thing. And, kind of like, an Adam Copeland or Christian Cage, they are so well known that it almost doesn't matter what you call them. People are going to know who they are. And so I think that definitely has potential to work for them. We're going to see what ultimately happens with New Day. And so I shudder to ask this question, but I'm going to. Considering the reason for New Day's departure, is there the possibility that we see other departures connected to this very same reason? And if so, who?
You never know at this point, but I think it's going to be someone we like. It's going to be people we like. They don't release the people we want them to release, and that sounds crazy to say that on a show like that. But I am literally wondering. I'm literally wondering why certain people are still there. Like why you're taking up space? You're releasing people who actually have value. You just released 2 guys who are on the opening vignette of the show.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
All right. And you just released Carrie Sane, who was in the midst of a storyline. 2 people are fighting for her custody. And you release her, but you still got some people who are eating all the hummus and catering. And they're still there for whatever reason. We don't know. And when they show up, when they're on TV, they are immediately a bathroom break. I don't know why they are there, but you release people who have value, especially those people who you're paying money to. And for a company who always brags about how much money they're making, the company who's always lifting these numbers, the numbers that may be fabricated, but lifting all these numbers of what they're making, you're releasing people who have value to them. Whoever they're going to release is going to hurt. It's going to come out of nowhere like today did.
I got one.
I got one too.
Oh boy.
Drew McIntyre.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
You can see Drew McIntyre taking
that would
the
be very upsetting.
He was not the shade of skin of persons that I thought they were going to release there. I don't.
Yeah, no, I can see him definitely because again, like if you look at the landscape what wrestling is right now, he would kill. Like a quick Claymore to Darby Allin, and then he's AEW World Champion.
Shit.
That's it. Drew McIntyre at New Japan at Hidden Door versus the Rainmaker.
Okay, well, let me ask you this though: do you think they're actually going to release people who they consider to have value outside of WWE?
Well, here's the thing. The New Day decided to leave. Yeah, so it now becomes a question of who will see their own worth and value enough to go, I don't necessarily want that deal. I'm out.
Bailey.
Yeah, and then you look at it.
It's going to be Bailey. Bailey's going to be the one that's going to cut.
Because if you look at, well, you know what? I don't know just because of all of the behind the scenes stuff she's doing and what they're allowing her to do with bringing up new folks.
I think that's why she would be cut. Here's why. The people that are being a part of Lodestone, you're not seeing them go to WWE. You're not seeing them in those tryouts. You're not seeing them at LFG. You're not seeing them there. You're seeing her, and this is a heel that I have no problem standing on and dying on alone. To me, Bailey is the best of the 4 horsewomen, and it's not about in-ring stuff for me. It is 100% about what she has given to wrestling. She has put back into this the way that you're supposed to when you get to that certain level. And she's still holding on for dear life to that fandom that we loved her for. Because when you watch a lot of these wrestlers for as long as we've had, especially when you see the start of their career, you can see when the light goes out of their eyes. You can see when the fire dies. You can see when they're like, I'm just here until. And she's one of those that I feel that with. She's actually on the same level as Xavier Woods is to me. Anybody who knows me knows I love Bailey, and her, Xavier Woods, and Tama are three current wrestlers that and Darius Carter that I see and I remember why I love wrestling. They take me back to being 12. They take me back to seeing wrestlers for the first time. I'm almost 40. Every time I see Bailey, I turn into a child, and I'm older than her. You understand what I'm saying? So it's going to be we're seeing people that we would have deemed to be lifers leaving for a myriad of different reasons. And I think she might be the final nail for me.
I knew that's why I liked her. Honey, who did I say was the number one horsewoman?
You said Bailey.
Big Pam.
One more time for the folks that got bad hearing like me.
Bailey.
Big Pam.
Why'd you roll your eyes, honey? What was that?
We've had numerous discussion on other panels in regards to who the better horsewoman is in our opinion. So I
what was your answer?
I'm Becky
Lynch.
Becky.
Is there another one?
Becky Mayweather.
Right.
Oh, wow.
But to your point though, like we've seen people do it. Like although it wasn't the greatest exit, look at Mercedes Moné. She knew what her value was. And it's like, yo, I'm being underappreciated, underutilized here. I want to go. And then they let her go. And now she is one of the top women in the world, despite what people want to say about her.
You can say that about Karrion Kross too.
Don't even get me started on that one.
He 100% took his family and focused on him and his wife. And to me, I already respected the man, but when he said, if you're going to treat my wife like this, I'm out. I said, oh, that's the kind of person I can invest in right there. And now they're doing everything they want to do on their terms, on their time. They're making more money than they were making over there. And they're happy. As long as they are happy, I don't care what they do. I don't care if they retire, as long as you're happy.
And one more out there too is Shotzi. Like her being outside of there, she has improved so much in character and skills and everything. So it's done wonders for her.
Well, one of the commonalities between a Karrion Kross, a Bailey, a Becky Lynch, a Mercedes Moné is they all held NXT championships, and NXT has done a phenomenal job of bringing us some new call-ups post WrestleMania. We saw last night the debut of Ricky Saints. I almost called him sorry. Ricky Saints, which, by the way, there's a clip of him floating around of his goodbye to NXT where he actually said Ricky Starks. But Ricky Saints, we've seen Soruka, we've seen Fatal Influence. We've seen a number of folks post WrestleMania make their NXT. I'm sorry?
Ethan Page.
Yes, Ethan Page. We've seen them all make their post WrestleMania debut on the main roster. Who do you think has been the most impactful debut coming from NXT in this post WrestleMania? And I'm very clear about that because pre-WrestleMania, it's kind of obvious, but post WrestleMania, who do you think has been the most impactful debut coming from NXT? James, we'll start with you.
I love the attention given to Fatal Influence. I love this. I don't know what Jasmine Nix is doing with her life right now. But
wow,
you know, and shout out to you for knowing your worth, but timing is everything, ain't it? You know, because Lainey Reed got into that spot. She went from evolving to now she's on the main roster. and it's about attention. To me, I don't want these wrestlers to get called up to catering. I want them to get called up to a storyline, be put in a position where they are respected, and as soon as they got here, they're jumping the tag team champions. They're beating Charlotte. JC's doing the thing, beating Charlotte. You got the thing with Rhea. This is what I'm talking about. Give these girls some time to shine. Put them in a situation where we care. Because if you boo, you care.
Yep.
If you cheer, you care. So they're in a great light, and all those girls can work. So you put them in matches, whether they win or lose, those matches are going to be really, really good. So I'm excited for Fatal Influence, and also excited to see them wrestle.
Yeah. All right. Honey, most impactful post WrestleMania NXT call up.
Post WrestleMania. I mean, I would have to agree, but for the sake of not using the same answer, I'm going to go ahead and say it was a pleasant surprise just right away to see Ethan Page right on TV. So I definitely, he has grown on me a lot, because at first I wasn't with the all ego thing, but I definitely dig it. And he's definitely proven his worth. He's done his thing with AAA and, TNA, and he carried that load for a while with NXT. So he's definitely more than capable of bringing that to the main roster. His personality, his heel work is through the roof, and I just want more of it.
Lovely. Let me ask you this. We got one of our latest NXT debuts last night. We know Blake Monroe is on the way, but we haven't seen her in action yet. But we did see Ricky Saints, who kicks off the show one-on-one with Cody, ends up in a match with Cody. Your thoughts on the Ricky Saints debut last night?
Uh-oh.
Loaded question. There's okay. A part of me feels like I'm trying to be here. Bear with me, guys. I'm remembering that I'm on someone else's platform, so I'm trying to be very cognizant of my words. I do feel like it was a middle finger to the ops, so to speak.
Okay.
I do feel like there was a better way to do this. I don't think going straight into Cody was smart. The reason for that, and just to kind of tie it in, a lot of times with WWE, they will, how can I say this in a PG way? They will jump the gun when it comes to people and their popularity and things like that, and to where you shoot them to the moon and they're already at the top of the mountain when they get there. Where's there left for them to go? So with a Ricky Saints, whoever, Richard, Richard,
Yes.
Ricky to me is one of those people that you have to, companies will muffle because of the star power that he has. And if you allow him to go full speed, he's going to shoot past people that you want to be at the top. So I feel like I'm scared. I don't want to jinx it, but it almost feel like it's kind of setting him up for failure to get thrown in with Cody immediately, just because of the tribalism, the way that the name changed. There was so much that worked against Ricky in NXT. The beating Obafemi should have done the opposite, but it was completely ridiculous because nobody should have beat Obafemi. So people have that sour taste in their mouth with Ricky already. So I'm interested to see if they're going to give him the same kind of freedom that they give like a Trick Williams, because I feel like he has that same kind of star power. I just worry about you shooting him on the top of the mountain immediately.
Councilman, let me ask you this. The last NXT call-up to debut against Cody, while Cody was the world champion, was Carmelo Hayes. Do you see a similar trajectory for Ricky Saints based on that? Or did this somehow work for him in ways that some might not realize?
Nope, probably gonna end up worse. Just being honest, probably gonna end up worse. it's very clear that y'all are doing this to say something to someone else, a particular other brand. Because I'll be honest, I don't know who Ricky Saints is. I didn't watch Ricky Saints. I don't know what he did in AEW. I don't know what he did before that. So for someone like myself, if you're bringing him in and me having no knowledge of who this guy is like that, you have not sold me on this person. You didn't do it in NXT, and you haven't done it here moving up. The only thing that I am now seeing is, okay, this is Cody's guy, and nepotism is kicking in. Because like you said, at no point should he have beat my client. And it goes, at any point in time that I believe that was going to happen. Tony D'Angelo now just got the stench off of him because of his rebrand. Like the one I see now, I'm like, okay, that guy could maybe give Oba a run for his money. But to have him do that, again, it just leaves a stench when you're trying to say, oh, we're not worried about another brand, but you're doing these things to make it like that. And I'm sorry, no one should debut going after Cody. Cody is the T-virus of the WWE right now. You are not developed. If you are not already an established person, there's nothing you can do around him at all. Because right now, him, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, y'all have all turned them into Super Cena, and you have not gotten anyone else at anywhere near the level to where we believe these people will give them a go for their money. And the fact that we know that that's his friend, and then that's what happened, it's like, okay. And then we always have an issue with, so again, love that you are coming out to establish your own self, but how many people we know in the back that have never gotten to be in the ring with a WWE champion and talk like that, let alone someone who's really good friends with him? Not a great
really
start.
Quickly, I got to shout out my guy, Josiah Williams, the man, Wrestling Flow. Great to have you hanging out and even just swinging by, man. We appreciate you, brother. My guy, Brandon, you're right. And you raise an interesting point, Councilman, that I hadn't thought of, but this is why this is a necessary conversation. I think oftentimes there is an assumption that is made that whoever is watching has watched a wrestler's previous work, whether it's AEW, the Indies, or even NXT. And I think it's easy to make the NXT assumption because, of how well WWE has branded it. And when you look at an Oba Femi, and you look at a Trick Williams, and you look at a Javon Evans, the response they got from their first time showing up on the main roster gave the indication that, okay, people clearly watched them in NXT. For whatever reason, and I don't know the reason, Ricky Saints did not get that kind of response last night. And I think you raise a very interesting point there, that it is still the responsibility of the company to present this person in a way such that people who didn't watch NXT could be invested in them. Shout out to my guy, Jabari McIntyre. Hey. My dude, it is good to see you, good brother. And so I think because of that, and when you think about some of the others, like for instance, a Oba Femi, where they did vignettes and things before he got to the main roster. Trick Williams was a little different, but Trick again did not debut opposite the world champion.
Right.
And I think that could be the other thing. If Ricky Saints, shows up
call him Richard.
Right. If Richard shows up at the start of SmackDown with no Cody, I think he gets a different response.
Also, too, look at the rest of them though that came. You got a chance to allow the crowd to get to know them. He got known because of the Chelsea run and AAA. So we got to see him. Sol Ruka impressed all of us at Evolution, Royal Rumble. All of us got to see her. Yeah, Javon Evans. Kept seeing him going up against Sami Zayn. Even Trick Williams,
even Oba,
champion, doing interviews on Monday Night Raw. we got a chance to see what the crowd was looking for in these characters. Ricky did not get that at all. You had a mediocre NXT title run, you had a mediocre North American title run, and then it was like, hey, we're gonna give you one more match that you lose, and then you going up, and the first person we putting you with is Cody. And then compared to Carmelo, who was a staple at NXT, it's like, y'all know we see what's going on here, and we just letting y'all know we don't like it.
So there's my problem. My problem is don't bring people up if you don't have an actual plan for them. And let's not also act like they like everybody that they're bringing up. Sometimes they bring people up because they got to, and now they're on the clock. So now here's this issue. You know, we got Starkey Saints here. we don't necessarily like him. That's Cody's guy. Sink or swim, buddy. Put you in the spot. Mm-hmm. You find your way out. And if you can find your way out, cool. And I think there's where he is. And we've seen them do that to other wrestlers and they fizzle out. Well, we loved them in NXT and we thought, oh, they're ready. We talked about Cross. We talked about, Keith Lee, people that we thought were ready. And all of a sudden they're the Bearcat on the main roster. You know what I'm saying? Or you're putting a mask on this guy, things of that nature. They don't automatically like everybody that they call up. And some people have to fight their way out. And I think that's the same thing for Starkey Saints now.
The only thing gonna save him is he gotta do a rivalry with The Miz. The Miz is the only one that can help him right now.
I would say that, but he also has to do something in the ring that we don't forget.
Yeah.
It won't just be the promos. He's got to do something in a match that says, oh, that guy could cook, that guy could go. And he naturally gets the crowd to emote to his side.
Let me pose a question as we mention this, because I'm really curious. Could Ricky Saints be a victim of timing? And here's why I say that. Because Ricky Saints does well where there seems to be one of him. And when I say one of him, a charismatic guy who speaks relatively well on the mic. We have that in abundance right now with Trick Williams. Is Ricky Saints kind of a casualty of poor timing right now? Because there's this great comment here from James Anderson, good to see you, who says he had a mediocre run in NXT. So I guess my question is he a victim of poor timing? Because even in NXT, one could argue that his run may have been mediocre because he also didn't have the star power of male talent to battle at that particular space. So 100%. What are your thoughts?
100%. I think Ricky across his career has been a victim of timing, honestly, not just in NXT, not just in WWE. I believe in AEW as well.
Oh, yes.
I will say this. The monkey wrench in a lot of people's careers to me right now is Trick Williams. Most people, when we saw Obafemi, we knew as soon as we saw him in NXT and they switched his whole thing, I was like, okay, this is a wrestler's wrestler. This guy is going to be world champ at some point. Trick Williams, however, he was kind of the understudy to Carmelo, and everyone saw the stars in Carmelo's eyes in NXT. As someone who's followed him since he was Christian Casanova, even when he had his Michael Jackson gimmick back in the Indies, I've been here for the whole ride. So you see, in NXT, in that small pond, Carmelo's the guy, but then something snapped in Trick Williams, and I'm going to say shout out to Lash Legend because I think it was you, baby girl. And that boy was the monkey wrench because nobody expected a Trick Williams to be Trick Williams. If we took him out of the equation, I think that would have been the place that a Ricky Starks would have been. But also we had a Montez Ford too, who had he been able to do his singles thing, he should have been where Trick Williams is now. So everybody has phases, but Ricky always, it's like he either comes in too early or too late, depending on where he comes from. But that, I really believe the stamp in his career with WWE was him winning against Obafemi. That put a disgusting taste in a lot of people's mouth because it didn't make sense.
So, Lovely, let me ask you this, and this will segue to our beginning of the show. Could he be on the same trajectory as one Xavier Woods was before the New Day was formed?
100%. And I go back to the other call up, Ethan Page. I'm concerned about Ethan Page because he has this much wriggle room before WWE turns him to LaKnight. He is somebody that I could see have a flip, the same kind of story as LaKnight. So you hate to compare wrestlers, but everything in wrestling's been done. So everything's recycled. So you see the certain spark, you see the certain thing with certain wrestlers, and you can see with this company, this is how this story is going to go. And I hate that for Ethan. I hate that for Ricky. I think Ricky's an extraordinary talent. But Trick Williams, yeah, man, I don't know.
I will say I don't know if that'll happen with Ethan. Ethan, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ethan may become a Paul Heyman guy in the next 5 years.
He could, but that's why I said that wiggle room. There's false move will change that. But
for him, he's entertaining and he's actually better in the ring than LA Knight. And so that's what's gonna get him over. Like, that dude knows how to keep us entertained. And again, he made that switch at NXT because at first it wasn't really like that. Then when I think it was after Javon Evans, where it started to be like he could kind of play around with stuff, he found his pocket and was just doing great. Like, everything he did, because even watching him at WWE World, like, folks are enamored with Ethan Page. So it's like all he has to do is keep doing what he's doing. But for Ricky Saints, Ricky should not have been called up.
I agree.
Like, Ricky is a big name where he was. You're not a big name here. And what y'all should have done was, where we're at now, Ricky should be at the top of that mountain for what NXT is now. Him versus Tony Angelo, him bringing up a Keanu Carver, him finally bringing some relevancy to Josh Briggs. This is the personality you have to where this era of NXT, he should have been the anchor of, and then he could have really shined. He should have never went up against Oba. This is where we should have seen him, where it's like, hey, there's a new spot. This is a new era. Tony, I'm going to fight you tooth and nail till I'm sitting here at the top of it, and let us get favor of you as a champion. Then that's when you have maybe Cody Rhodes come down to NXT and they do a quick exchange. Not a full segment, but it's like, let's lead into this where it's like, okay, yeah, we know that's Cody's guy, but this guy is putting the stamp in. Do a quick TNA run. And then let's keep sprinkling him in on Raw and SmackDown, see where we get him at, and then introduce him. Now it's just you look like a Nepo baby. And unfortunately, that just didn't go over well.
Ricky Starks 100% should have been this era's Finn Balor in NXT. That should have been the way that his career that sells itself with merch. Because here's the thing, I say often, in wrestling, your in-ring ability is 20% of what this is. They had the capability, because we all remember Black and Gold NXT. That is one of the best times in wrestling history.
Vividly.
Finn Balor in NXT was nothing to play with. And they messed up by bringing him up so soon. He should have been the mainstay. He should and could have been that role. They need to go back to doing like they did with Oba. Bring back the basics. Bring back vignettes. Bring back, just like they brought Sol Ruka in to do certain matches, like they had Jordan Grace come in and do certain. I feel you when it feels like they set Ricky up to fail as like a vendetta to whatever their vendetta is against other folks.
Because I just want y'all to go back to his debut. You notice how there was no pop for that.
Yep.
No one knew who this guy really was.
That's why I don't understand the whole tribalism deal that WWE still operates under, because we're likely not caring. If we're watching you, we're not saying, oh, take that to another company. Real wrestling fans, we watch whatever we want to watch. Okay. And so, we'll watch it all if we want to. why do we care about what you think about another company? And why would you take someone's career and sabotage it just to get back at a company that you always try to say that you're better than? We don't care about that. We want to watch good wrestling, good characters. We watch you for the reasons why we like you. We watch AEW for the reasons we like AEW. We watch Ashe for the reason why we like them. We don't want to compare what we like. Okay, we drink tea, we drink coffee, we drink water. All right, you know, they're all different. Let us drink what we want to drink. We don't have to do that, you know. But if you don't have a plan for this guy, and the only thing you want to do is to have a middle finger to a company that we're not watching while we're watching you, that says more about you than it does about them. And to me, we're going down the same road as Time Warner did with WCW. Yep. It's the same thing happening all over again. You've got a big company that really doesn't care about wrestling. So they don't care about what makes wrestling wrestling. They only care about a bottom line, and then all of a sudden qualities get cut for the bottom line, and then we lose as a whole because you're taking away from us what we love.
That's it right there. Because Nick Khan does not care about the magic that is wrestling. Like, I remember seeing him at NXT New Year's Evil when The Rock came out, and it was just straight
dead face.
Yeah, and it was like, yo, I can tell you're just looking at this like a product. You don't see what is happening around you right now.
You're not hearing the people.
You don't, because you don't understand it, because you don't care. The only thing it is, and I've said this many times, like TKO is knocking on 5 years, and I think there's a certain amount of money TKO need to make in order to make this investment that they did with them work. Otherwise, something is going to happen with the TKO company. Yep. But you can tell they do not know the magic of what they bought. They're just trying to figure out how can you take that magic, put it in a bottle, and sell it to everybody. Not about the stay at home, the fans that we've been here, but even to the newer folks. How can we get them to try our product?
Let me ask a quick question before we go, because time is moving so fast. We saw, and I can't believe how quickly time is moving. So NXT, as we mentioned, we had a slew of call-ups post-WrestleMania. NXT Tuesday did a bit of a, I don't even want to call it a relaunch. Like, it's just new people just started showing up out of nowhere in NXT. And for some reason, and I wish we had more time, for some reason, we started caring about some of these new people who we'd never seen before. Really remarkable how they did that. But here's my question. All of us here are big fans of the black and gold presentation of NXT. Just an amazing and wonderful time. My question, though, is which version or era of NXT has actually produced the most stars?
Black and gold, baby.
Now.
I would not say that.
Before you answer that,
I'm saying it because I am biased.
Before you answer that, I want you to consider how many people came into NXT Black and Gold as stars already or as known talents, and then consider what has come out of this version of NXT that we're currently seeing. So I'll ask the question again. Which era of NXT has produced the most stars?
Can I ask a question before we answer? Do we define stars as being successful call-ups to WWE?
Let's say that for the sake of this conversation. And I say that because there are some who have gone from NXT other places, but those folks came into NXT with names.
I'd have to say the first class. The first class still like holds the gold. That's where you had your Baileys. That's where you had Sasha. That's where you had Charlotte. That's technically not. That's not black and gold.
We doing semantics. It's semantics.
From 2014 to 2021 is considered the black and gold era. Right. So that's the undisputed era. That's DIY. That's Johnny Gargano, Ricochet. That's all of them. But again,
the era I was talking about was your era. That's what I was talking about. The Bailey era, that was black and gold to me. when we talking about stars, I'm thinking NXT homegrown stars.
Mm-hmm.
That era to me, that black and gold, because I was going down to Full Sail like a crazy person. So it was still black and gold. Though we're on the same page. I don't like these semantics.
Or are you talking about, Councilman, like in regards to when Neville was champ and
what a time.
Seth was Tyler Black? Are you talking about that class, that early class?
Samoa
Joe was still there.
Yeah. Seth Rollins was still there. Roman Reigns.
Roman was Larry or something like that.
That's yellow and black. Okay, so now we're gonna figure it out. So there's yellow and black, and then there's gold and black. Yellow and black is where we at.
And then there was 2.0, and then there's platinum.
We not nothing about that.
I think the black and gold was the time where I didn't want them to get called up.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I viewed them as a third brand and don't get poisoned by the big ups.
And that's why a lot of them didn't even bother going out. Like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole even were sitting out. They were like, we don't want to go up there. We're good right here. We're good right here.
That was a good time.
Listen, oh my God, 2019.
Fun.
The revival, American Alpha. Y'all may not like them, but AOP. I had a good time.
Sanity, Velveteen Dream.
Don't talk about it, but yeah, Velveteen Dream.
Can't say that name. It's Voldemort.
Redacted. Redacted had a good run though. You know,
Redacted was doing his thing.
Redacted had a good run.
Wow.
But that's how, I mean, they wouldn't put the belt on Bianca, but Bianca was shining during that time. And still, to me, my favorite PLE of all time was TakeOver New York 2019, when all of those matches hit. Okay, all of them. Okay, you start off with Ricochet and Aleister Black against AOP.
God, it was such a good time.
They cooked. You had Redacted and Matt Riddle. They cooked though in that match. You had Walter versus Pete Dunne, and they cooked. You had
I'm gonna go back.
Bianca
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Shayna and Kyrie and EO.
I'm about to find that.
And then my favorite match, Gargano versus Cole, 2 out of 3 falls.
Great.
They
Amazing.
cooked the whole time.
But to your point though, the people you naming, it was just there. You maybe named 5 people that
are now gone.
Went. The majority of them after that, that's like high school. Once prom happened, it's like
over.
It's yellow and black.
Are you watching that now?
We talk about stars. Now that we've gotten the differentiation of the two, it's yellow and black. That is the prime version of stars that we got. Now they came from the indies, but to me, that's not, those were stars. Those are the people that are now the veterans now. You like to see the career of Bailey, to see the career, even the Shield, when we had them, Bray Wyatt came through there. Big E. You remember Alexa with Wes and what's the other young man?
Yes. He
had the tutu.
The one man,
Liv Morgan was with Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass.
I was
Enzo and Cass.
That was a fun time.
What a time.
You remember Blue Pants? We was popping for somebody in blue pants. The VOD villains. The VOD. Come on.
Oh, the VOD villains. What was the one with the train? The party train?
Axl Rose.
Adam Rose.
Axl Rose.
Guns and
No way Jose even came.
No way. Shout out to North Carolina. No way Jose was a fun time, and the feeling we all just had talking about that. That's what I miss.
Yes.
We don't have that anymore. The last time, the most recent time we had that feeling was at WrestleMania when we watched Oba beat Brock Lesnar.
Correct.
It's been so long since we've had that feeling about wrestling, and that should show us the state. And I don't want anyone to, and I'm gonna say this, I'm done. Wrestling is not dead. Wrestling is not dying. There's so much wrestling out here for everybody to enjoy. There's something for everyone in wrestling. WWE, however, might be croaking. And that's none of my business. But wrestling, don't let the failures of WWE and the disappointments of WWE make you feel like wrestling is dying. It's not.
Well, it's just a down spiral for WWE. But I think the cool thing about it is that they held on for so long that it made others go, hey, let's expand this. So now you have, like you said, now you have options. Everybody's going to go through their dark period. Like AEW had that. Like in year 3 and 4, we were like, yo, they can still keep their door open. And now we sitting here watching the product. So, like you said, wrestling is as big as it's ever been. Everybody gets a chance to now. It's like, I'm not wrestling in a gymnasium for $30. I can really go do these indie shows and make a living off of doing my dream.
Facts.
So it's here and it's here to stay, and that's what they showing us.
And
GB, you'll appreciate this quick analogy because we come from a similar industry, music industry, and so many things happen within the music industry. But one thing that will always last in the music industry always comes back to the song.
Yes.
It all evolves around the song, and the industry itself may crumble and have to change a lot. But ultimately, when you've got a song and you're able to create the song, you can create a market anywhere. And the wrestling's the same way. And so salute to these people who now have the opportunity to write their own songs.
Go get that bag, please.
Get the money.
That bag.
Get the money. Get the
know
bag.
your worth.
I think I'm going to start calling this the fastest 60 minutes in all of wrestling because it is insane how quickly this hour has gone by, but it has been absolutely enjoyable. I want to just run around and let everybody find out where they can find each of you on socials. We'll start with you, honey. Where can the people find you?
Find me on all the socials, Wrestling with Honey, everything, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can find me with my tag team partner, Will, on Kayfabe Podcast every Thursday, where we get to, shoot the ish and do some fantasy booking. So make sure you guys tune in every Thursday. WWT Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have a SmackDown watch along every Friday as well. So Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, we're doing that. And Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube as well. Episodes coming, pending.
Awesome. James, where can the people find you?
You can't find me anywhere. Don't even look for me.
It was my line.
Leave me alone. Okay. All right. Leave me alone. I'm chilling. Honey, I just want to know, or the Joe Hendry photo, does his eyes move? That's all I want to know.
Not like the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
No, the eyes don't move, but I've seen my lilies twitching every now and then.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that has happened once or twice. Councilman, how can the people find you?
You can find me at Bret Hart is Mid on all
Turn it up.
On all social medias, and then we are almost finished with the podcast Bittersweet with Bret Hart and that tall dude Diesel, where we don't have sitting and doing the podcast, and they first person is going to be Goldberg. You do not want to miss the podcast that we are putting together. That's where you can find me coming soon.
Oh God,
Lovely. How can we find you?
Don't. On all social media platforms, it's Lovely Laveau. Season 4 of Something Else is coming back soon. We are on Beyond the Bell podcast every Wednesday and Sunday on YouTube. And we might have another podcast coming out soon with me and some good friends of mine called Squirt Business. Don't ask questions, just tune in.
Hey.
All right now.
What was the first word?
Don't ask questions, just tune in.
Okay, so I did hear that right.
Yes, you know exactly what you heard, sir.
Pancakes and cream pies. There you go.
Of course, you can find me at Bonnerfied across all the spaces. You can find this podcast at The Faction Show as well. Shout out to all of you who are joining us on YouTube, on Facebook. On YouTube, you can find us on the Bonnerfied Media YouTube page, and that's all part of the Bonnerfied Podcast Network. I am so excited for all of you who have joined us. This is a thing, folks, and I'm super pumped to be back, to have us doing what we love to do. So shout out to everybody. Honey, James, Councilman, Lovely. I appreciate you guys so much. Everybody who joined us in the chat. This was absolutely amazing, and we'll be back here next Saturday, same time, same station for more of The Faction Reloaded. Peace, guys.